Hi, friends. Host Eric here, starting with famous people. And I'm here with Rachel, and I was typing your mom last night, and she was like, "Oh, yeah, you typed me so good, Eric." And I was like, "You're nice, FP." And she was like, "Oh, Eric, type me again."
Mm-hmm.
Well, your mom, she was pretty appreciative of me. Rachel was there too. She helped me type her.
Mm-hmm. It's for science.
Yeah. She was kind of weird, your mom. She kept saying, like, tell me how shitty my TI is and things like that. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, I think she had what's known in the typological community as a TI polar fetish. She likes to pretend that she was TI polar and have people give her logic problems. And when she failed to do them, we get really turned on.
That sounds about what she would do to get your attention. Hell yeah.
Well, the thing about it is, a lot of people don't realize this. There are a lot of odd disorders and such that are specific to the typology community.
Ah.
Yeah, such as TI polar fetish. There's also people who have FE polar fetish. And what they do to get themselves each other aroused is they'll be really socially awkward to remember. And be like, bah, bah! And they're like, oh, that's so awkward. I'm getting so hard. Mm-hmm. It's a really difficult sex life to have if you have the FE polar fetish. People get so extreme that they've got to be awkward in public just to get aroused. And it's where a lot of the scenes you see in public are actually just probably people with FE polar fetish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely sounds SE polar. FE polar.
No, FE polar fetish.
Oh.
Now that's where two people just sit next to each other and don't do anything. Getting increasingly aroused until eventually they both go to sleep. Yeah, and so it's usually the thing is, of course, it's not usually your INFPs and your INTPs who have the SE polar fetish because they have actual SE polar. It's usually going to be maybe like ESTP who likes to pretend he's SE polar and gets off on that. Like he'll be like, "Fuck, I really want a soda, but getting up from this couch seems so hard." And then the woman's like, "Oh, you never do anything. You're so lazy." And he's like, "Tell me more. Tell me again. I can't do anything." Right?
He would be.
Yeah.
There's that vine of a kid who's like pretending to be sleeping. And he's like, "Oh, I woke up just in time for you to make me a sandwich."
Well, see, I think it's time for me to share one of my deepest, darkest secrets. Yes, I am any polar fetish. When Rachel and I are having sex, I ask her to ask me to come up with synonyms for words. And then I pretend to not be able to come up with any synonyms for a word. And she tells me how uncreative I am. And, then we have wild, raging animal sex. Anywho, typological fetish is not a site. It's not really the topic of this live stream. At 4 minutes, 24 seconds in, and we have only two people. It's just me and Rachel and Noah and some other person.
Hey, Noah.
Noah, thank you for being here at our party.
It's going good.
Yeah, we were expecting a bigger turnout at our party.
Yeah,
we bought a lot of hors d'oeuvres.
Hello, it's Thursday, isn't it?
Rachel, goddamn, we're going to be eating hummus for weeks now. I told you should not have bought all this food. Good to hear, said Noah McFarland. What's good to hear? Did I type your mom last night? Oh, yeah. I typed her. I typed her hard. I typed her as an INTJ, Noah. I said, hey, Noah's mom, you're an INTJ. Like that. That's a very suggestive way of saying it. Hey, a third person's shown up. Now we have enough people to play bridge with an extra. She might actually be one, although I'm not sure. I can just tell just by smelling. And smell the INTJ on you. It smells like mom INTJ too, so I'm pretty sure. That's how I could tell. Eventually wants his bonger. I've been Bogarting the bong.
I know the feeling.
When she says that, she means she knows the feeling of me Bogarting the bong. She never Bogarts it. Her FE's way too good. Yeah,
no, not the bong, but I do Bogart J's.
Yeah,
I do.
Well, who doesn't Bogart a J occasionally? You got to, because you got to get a few hits off it.
Yeah,
and you're talking, you're chatting. Rachel and I are a couple of chatty Cathys, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
This morning, I chatted the living fuck out of her. I was just like, blah, blah, blah. She was like, blah, blah, blah back. It was just like, fuck yeah. This is hot. We're chatting about ideas. So.
What do you...
Go ahead, Rachel.
Sorry, no.
No, please.
No.
I am, we're still tripping over each other every once in a while. It's a naturally occurring process. It means we're being a little less careful. That's good.
True.
There's only so much good carefulness can do. And then if you overdose on carefulness, then it starts to make you SE polar. You just kind of start dancing around.
It's so true. Clumsily.
A lot of people don't like my negative live streams. The live stream that I did last night called Dark Triad Personality, where I ranted about a bunch of different people in my life who display the same trait of avoiding my words. Got a lot of thumbs down. People fucking just really don't want to hear me talk shit about anybody on the YouTube channel.
Huh.
I do anyway when somebody pisses me off.
Yeah, you have.
I always have, always will.
Yeah, you always have.
Because it's like if someone's pissed me off, then and the only way I do it. Yeah, it's like I talk to them about it on the YouTube channel when I cannot successfully talk to them in real life.
Yeah.
So, I get it. A lot of people don't like it. Some people do like it. I don't know. I get mixed messages, but I get a lot of thumbs down. I'm sure it's all from FI people going like, hey, don't be all like that, Eric. That's totally mean. Jeeves. Listen.
Jeeves.
This card right here for your anus. Boom. What is it?
Ooh, it's talking.
Is your anus chatty tonight, Jeeves? I think so. It is engaging in conversation. It is gossiping. About whom is your anus gossiping, Jeeves?
Maybe the food that you ate?
How splenderous are your anal whispers? Is really the question. I'm going to go take a look at my mother to make sure she still sits inside, alive and in good health. I shall be back in hopefully about 30 seconds.
We don't have crystals. I'm into crystals, though. I do like them.
Yeah, she's fine. Watching
Oh,
TV.
you saw?
Yeah. Sitting in the chair watching TV.
Aw.
She's not been, we all had dinner not that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then we all watched TV together for a while. And then Rachel and I came out here to do this. So she's not been inside by herself for very long. And we've checked on her multiple times. I told you, Jeebus, I don't read crystals, okay?
You did.
I snort them. I don't really snort them. But it'd be a better use of them for me, I think. Taylor Van Ambaugh. Your mom's an ESFJ. She got really depressed when a tornado hit Dallas on Tuesday and knocked out the power on my birthday. It was as if it was her birthday. Ooh, Taylor Van Ambaugh, you have cued in on one of the key distinctions I use to try to tell SIFJs from NIFJs. And hi, Octavio Silva.
Hey.
How's the live chat's best drawer doing?
Seriously.
Mm-hmm. You are. You've been afforded that title, okay? But I want to talk about Taylor Van Ambaugh's thing, or Amber's thing. Taylor Van Amberg. Yeah, one way I can tell the difference, or you can check, is an SFJ will blame themselves if something goes wrong at the party, regardless if they could have done anything about it or not, regardless if they have any blame for it, regardless of if they should have anticipated it, if they were negligent in any way, whether they actually were at fault or whatever. It doesn't matter. They will feel like they fucked up if their party goes south. Mm-hmm. Whereas an NIFJ, if somebody else fucked up their party and it's out of their control, they'll be like, well, it's obviously not my fault, because they're using NI. It's not the experience that matters, it's the truth. And so thank you for mentioning that. So NIFJs versus SIFJs. In other words, NFJs versus SFJs. ESFJ, ISFJ are SI using FJs, and INFJ and ENFJ are NI using FJs. Yeah, well, the thing is, when you're dealing with an ESFJ or an ESTJ, you're dealing with NI polar, and it can be mind-boggling in its slowness to come to terms with realities. For example, when my dad seemed so surprised at when he hired this lady, or he has long-term care insurance, he had to pay the deductible up front for a couple months, but then he Taurus ring and giving it to Rachel. I don't know what Taurus ring is.
Tori.
Oh. I don't mind. Okay. So the thing about having antipolar is, so my dad brought this lady in to do home care for 4 hours a day for, I guess, 5 days a week. And he talked to me like after it started, he's like, boy, I'll tell you, this is a real game changer. Mm-hmm. It's like he's surprised that having 4 hours in the day every day lets him get more shit done.
Yeah.
It's the same sort of antipolar stuff that happened when my dad would periodically come back from traveling with my mom, say, that's it, she can't do it anymore. She can't. We're done. We cannot do it. I'd say, Dad, how about if I go with you to help? Then it won't be so challenging. He has no concept of that until he experiences it.
Yes.
It means that the words make sense to him somehow, but it doesn't resonate as determinate, right? It's like, if Rachel and I go with you, Dad, and it's you and me and Rachel and Mom, and you want to go travel to the East Coast, for example, just to visit your sister, Mom could still go. If we had 3 adults helping to take care of her, if we could split up some of those tasks and, okay, Rachel, can you watch for a bit? Dad and I are going out. Okay, Dad, can you watch for a bit? Rachel and I are going out. That kind of shit makes it easy squeeze. Mom's not inherently difficult. She just requires some maintenance tasks sometimes, some cleaning up and some, taking to the bathroom and stuff like that, and
caretaking stuff.
Yeah, caretaking stuff.
Yeah.
But she does a lot of that stuff even herself.
Yeah.
She, like this morning, she put on she had dressed herself, and more or less. Actually, I think I did help her with something this morning, but
no, but she does. She's
right.
Going to the bathroom. She's going by herself, and she really does like to do it on her own if she can. She really does.
Hi, Bruce.
Hey, Winston's mom.
Well, that reminds me, I need to send a message, email to Brad, also known as Mammal Bread.
Mammal Bread?
When he said Miyamo Brad, I thought he said Mammal Bread. I was like, Mammal Bread? Which is, of course, an excellent name for meatloaf.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the thing is, what was I talking about? Oh, Brad, right. Brad's gonna put down some better bass on that song. And I told him I'd follow him about it today. Nice. So I should do that.
Hey, Rosemos.
Oh, right. Unipolar. So it can be frustrating to deal with. I do want to give a ring of some sort to Rachel. Mm-hmm. But as I've indicated before, I want to wait for something to say. Yeah. Like, for example, the other day, there was a pin around here, a baseball player. It was just sitting on the counter. I said, Dad, what is this? Where did it come from? And he said, I think your mom shoplifted it.
That's her new thing. She's telling me about it. Yeah, she's like, I can get it for you. Just like that. She's like, I see it. I just take it. I'm like, yeah. She's telling me she was going to get me a coat like hers. Mm-hmm.
Oh, your mom? She seemed pretty. I say she seemed pretty ESTJ. It was very structured typing. We followed all the structural protocols of typology, and I wrote her a formal report. She threw it in my face and said my handwriting was too messy. That's your dad? That's your dad and your mom, Bruce? Oh, maybe it was your dad dressed up in drag.
Damn.
It might have been. Might have been. He did say, hello, I'm Bruce Moose's dad. Mom. That's kind of a giveaway.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So I wanted to talk a little bit about. I wanted to talk a little bit more about Jeebus. Why was it named like it was? What was it named? Alarmist Nonsense? I don't know. The thing is, I have a lot more lyrics, but then when I put it together, I put it together for the musical aspects of the lyrics. So in that regard, it might have had a message of some sort. It was clearer in the original incarnation of it, where it had a lot more words. But I ended up cutting out most of the words and just using certain chunks of it that I thought had NI pop in appropriate places. But I'm interested in sleeping on it and seeing how I feel about that song tomorrow, the next day, a week from now, or whatever, because I like it right now. And I also recognize it as being the kind of song that I do that I normally don't feel like I like it that much a week later, maybe, So It's like certain songs stand the test of time a lot better than others. Well, this one, I don't know. I can't tell yet, but there's something about it that it's different than my other songs. I don't know. I like it.
I agree.
How did I learn to start making music? No, my songs are not on the radio. How did I learn to start making music? I guess I started recording myself. The first thing I recorded myself on probably was a tape 4-track, like a Tascam cassette tape 4-track, old school style.
Yeah.
I made some 4-track recordings. I did have piano lessons as a kid, and I didn't like it. I hated piano lessons because it was so fucking TE. First you learn your scales, then you learn to play this, then you learn to play this song by following the music. There was no, why don't you just make up shit? Here's how you play this chord. Now you just start singing along with it. Because they should have told me. Those fucking idiots don't know how to teach piano. They could be, and we really should promote you and plug your songs on other channels and get you on television. The thing is, somebody said something about Twitter and how I should tweet at Florida's National Refugees. But the thing is, I think that is probably the best way to get their attention, maybe. But anybody could do that, right? Like, that would be something very helpful. I don't have Twitter, or if I do, I never use it. It's like this mountain to climb. It's this daunting thing. Like, I'm going to have to go figure that out. See if I remember the password. Blah, 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 fucking TESE shit.
But like, if you were to do that and then send us a link of like the song and everything, then it could be like, hey.
I was in a really horrendous punk band when I was a kid. I was a really good vocalist, and drummer considering having to be trained. Yeah, well, I was in a voice choir first, and then I started playing the harmonica, and I didn't start playing the guitar till I was 21.
Mm-hmm.
If you would have a device that could visualize your ideas and capture it in video form of sound and everything, we use it. No, because my ideas are not visual. That's silly.
That's funny. I say yes. I always wanted that. If I could like capture a picture of the image in my mind and actually show people what I was talking about.
See, whereas what I want is Magic Sky Friend. Magic Sky Friend follows me around and records me all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And captures all of my words and then transcribes them all and archives them all according to various things like date and time, but also like who I was with, or cross indexes it, like what topics I talked about, how it linked into my various. I don't come up with ideas outside of the process of coming up with ideas. In other words, there is no non-extroverted ideation for me, more or less. The ideational part that's non-extroverted is the part when it's not ready to extrovert. And it's just raw goo still. I don't even know if it's going to turn into anything that really has my attention. Derek and the Scissors Sisters. I think my band name is TWFP Band, or Talking with Fan Fuel. I also really like the name Community Chapstick for a band.
So, like, it's chapstick that everyone uses?
Yeah. So it's in a public restroom, okay? There's a chapstick that's hanging from a string.
Stop! That makes it smell.
But underneath the sign that says, Community Chapstick, please help yourself.
Oh. I was thinking more along the line of, like, people in their apartments, like when they live with multiple people, there's like a community bowl. So it's like if you're just hanging around, you could have like the community bowl. So you pass around the chapstick, not a creepy one that's hanging in a bathroom.
It's in a public restroom. It's hanging on a string. And someone's just written in marker on the wall. Community chapstick, help yourself. I go in there, I'm like, oh, how did he come in here? I didn't know other guys in here. Just come on. No, you remember you were complaining about your lift being chapped? Try the community chapstick. Okay. So
Chappa gang and hey.
You need to move to Huntington Beach if you name your band after Chapstick. I'm pretty close to Huntington Beach right now. I'm about 45 minutes away. I thought about learning how to make old Japanese RPG sounding music. Role-playing game music, huh? Well, you know what? The most important thing, Ryan Harrison, is to make music with your heart. You've got to feel it authentically with your moisture. Otherwise, it doesn't count. Or you could just use NI, it's fine. If you don't like FI. I don't really like FI that much. I don't really use a lot of FI in my...
What is an FI song?
I mean, my most FI songs are like Rappin' Eric's Pimpin' Hand, where I explained to Neptune, a community member, what a little bitch he's being and how he needs to fucking man up and face my words. Same sort of thing I've been saying for years, frankly. Well, that's why you need to date an ENTP. Like, Rachel and I don't do a whole hell of a lot, but we're pretty action-y, sort of.
Yeah, I'd say we're half and half. It's a good mix. There's some days I think we're pretty. I honestly think that we do more than we give ourselves credit for. I find that we're pretty busy, actually.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, I like the way that we seem to, generally speaking, align on our kind of biorhythms. Like, there'll be a day where I want to just nap, and you'll seem to kind of generally be nappy on the same days and less nappy on the same days,
Funny enough, there is a calculator for biorhythms, and ours are like exactly the same. Yep. Yeah, that was one thing that I was like, no. I would do the calculations, and I didn't want to believe it and stuff, or I would get like a good one in one section and bad in the other, and I'd be like, no, it's not even. But I don't got that problem.
All right, a shit ton of them. Frankly, most of them are not real ESPs.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Most of them are ENFPs or ESFPs. What are your thoughts on what matters of attention would suggest there is an illusionary intertype relationship between ENTP and INFJ? Also, because I heard you talk about beneficiaries and ENTP. Is that what it's called, illusionary intertype?
Yeah, it's the illusionary mirage.
Okay. Well, the thing is, I've never thought of it as having those qualities in particular. Even while I became familiar with intertypes, I always referred to INFJ, what's known as the illusionary or mirage type or whatever. I refer to that as best friend type because INFJs and ENTPs get along really well.
It kind of does describe it like that.
I mean, what's the purported area of deficit that leads to the relationship falling apart according to socionomics?
So the only thing is that we lack what the duals support us in. So like the S stuff.
So I'm supposedly not SE enough and you're not SI enough.
Yeah, exactly.
I am so fucking sick of SI. I mean, I'm certainly sick of everybody else's SI. I like my own. My own SI sounds like rye, and like eating bacon and shit. And
It does actually.
yeah, and like, you know, Rachel and I, this is good SI. It's so much better than like a dominant function person, right? Rachel and I went to the supermarket. We had great SI. What did we get there? Store brand cola and soda. Got 3 bags of Doritos.
They were on sale.
They were on sale. We got a thing of pickles. Got some frozen hamburger patties and some buns to just stick in the freezer so we can make dinner. We ended up having hamburgers for dinner tonight. And I didn't hear anything about it. I can't eat those frozen hamburger patties. You know, Kimberly would not eat anything I ever made except if I grilled it. But anything else I tried to make, I couldn't even begin to make dinner. I was told ahead of time that it was, no, she's not going to eat that. I don't eat anything you make. It's awful. It's like, you know, it's just so inconvenient. That's what makes it awful. It's so fucking inconvenient. Like, look, we both need to eat. Can we just fucking shovel some food down our throat? Rachel gets that, but we also both like to go out and have nice food too. You know, it's like, but we're not slaves to it.
No, I know, and I'm. You can tell. I'm sick of the what is it, SE stuff.
You're sick of SE stuff?
Right?
SI stuff?
SI, yeah, all right.
What do you mean by SI? You mean like
So like what the so my ESTP is my dual, so the S. What is that?
that's SE.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like working every day. Like same routine, like
well, following through on shit all the time. See, here's the thing. You want follow through, but you don't want that frame.
I hate, yeah.
Just like I want SI, but I don't want that frame. I like SI a lot. I like to be comfortable.
Right.
I get, if I'm cold, I want to have a jacket on, all that kind of shit, right? But we didn't really tidy them up. We need to tidy up more.
What?
The shelves, tidying up the shelves.
Oh, thanks. I did. We both did actually a little bit.
A little bit.
Thanks.
SE is follow through in the sense that you got to remember about SE that it seems contradictory. On the one hand, it's being able to pull the trigger in the moment, being opportunistic, being able to seize upon an opportunity to take an action that will cause an impact.
Yep.
And then on the other hand, he's following through. Well, if you follow through, then you don't change horses in midstream. But if you're opportunistic, then you're happy to get off the horse in midstream. So I don't get it. It seems contradictory. Well, the thing about it is, you got to remember that every action has a duration or a number of steps involved in it. So when I go outside in a second and smoke the cigarette, it's pretty easy to follow through on starting it. But I don't actually stand out there and smoke the whole cigarette. I take a few puffs. I get bored of standing out there and I put it out and I come back in here. And the thing is, even small acts like lighting a cigarette is an act that requires a little bit of follow through. And the bigger the act, the more follow through it requires.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to have big impacts, you can't just be good at knowing when to act in opportunistic moments. That's helpful a lot. But you also have to be able to follow through on some acts that take a few steps that are not just instant, right? So the problem is, for me, with 8th slot SE, I'm very bad at following through on things that require persistence, maintenance, repetition over time, or anything like that. I need things to be closed like project work, right? I'll start this thing and it's going to be finished. I can't have ongoing keeping track of shit. It doesn't work. Now I'm gonna follow through on lighting this cigarette now. So Rachel, can you hold down the fork for a minute?
Yeah.
Can I take this with me?
Yeah. Wait, now I want to go.
Well, then I'll have to come back in, Rachel, and you'll have to smoke the cigarette. And that won't do either of us any good.
I'm going after you.
I'm teaching my mom too. I'll be right back.
Okay. I don't smoke Jesus. It depends on the horse. What if the horse is a horse with no name? I mean, I'm not cross the stream, but the horse.
Mom's doing fine. She's just reading this thing in her chair.
Oh.
Looking perfectly content.
Where is Dollywood?
Okay, Isaiah, without giving away your location, are you currently at Dollywood? If so, which room are you in?
Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Dollywood in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Sounds about right. Evening, Engantier. Did you have more parallel projects that were unfinished when you were younger?
No. I have shit tons right now. I always have, always will. Lots of stuff gets started, only some stuff gets finished. I was surprised that song last night got finished, actually. I just got caught up on it, got caught up in it, and it just rolled its way through. Because when I started, I had like a part that I liked, right? Like a couple guitar parts that I liked, and I thought, and then I was like, I reached that spot where I go, okay, maybe I'll come back to this later. Most of that shit I don't ever really come back to. So, but in that instance, I came back to it quickly. And then I decided, what happened was I got past the little hump I was at, which was, it was only doing so much for me when it was two guitar parts. Once I pitch shifted the leads down to being bass, then it started to have a certain roll to it that I liked, you know? And then at that point, it got enough momentum, it gets over a certain hump, then it carries you all the way to the end, you know? And that was a one-nighter too, which is nice. When you get the whole thing start to finish, fucking done, including the video, it's like, okay, that's the kind of time frame I want my projects to be on. You know, you fucking sit down, you get all thwacked out, you fucking hammer it through, start to finish. I hope everybody clicks like.
Thanks, Octavio Silva.
She is definitely the hottest host on this channel.
Thanks.
Yeah. So,
the first thing I met was a fly with a buzz and the sky with no clouds. The heat was hot and the ground was dry, but the air was full of sound. I love that song, Winston's mom. It's America. We got donuts last week.
Finger donut. Finger donut is not appropriate.
No, and if you do that, you're gonna get more of Eric's butt crack. So careful.
Yeah, I should give you, like 4 centimeters crack for every finger.
Exactly.
So, I've done something outside that's always, well, for every season there's a turn. And what I did is I replaced my regular ashtray with basically the bucket of water concept. Now, the bucket of water concept is great. It is super convenient. You just toss your butts in there. But the problem, the reason I don't normally use the bucket of water technique is because there's a lot of times where I only smoke like half a cigarette. I have a bucket of water there, I typically just toss the fucking other half in the bucket of water, you know? So I end up wasting a lot of cigarettes when I use this. But it's so much more convenient than, the ashtray's full. I can find a little corner where I can still squish it out on. Donuts with a creamy hole.
No, cronuts are a thing.
Now, is it a cream-filled hole, or I don't understand how, given that a hole is the absence of stuff, how can it have any stuff-related attribute? Uh-oh. Isaiah Rude, let me transubstantiate a bong rip for you. Let me transubstantiate an emergency bong rip for Isaiah Rude. You know how Jesus can turn water into wine? I can turn air and propane and words into getting you high remotely, Isaiah Rude. It's the miracle I can work. I was totally sober, and then Jose transubstantiated a bong rip for me.
It's just the way of the future.
It was like manna from heaven. Okay. Oops, sorry, Rachel.
Yeah, it's okay.
I hereby transubstantiate thee.
He's a maniac with the bomb.
The jazz hands maximize the effect for you. Make sure I get none of the THC in myself. That was the Master Bubba, okay? It's the connoisseur shelf. You can probably taste it. Winston's mom had her INTJ in this challenge. Sometimes people do take down comments that they regret shortly after they make them. I still see it on the bell, and I'm like, where's that fucking comment? And I look, and it's gone, you know?
Yeah.
I put up a profile pic, but I won't show. T-Biz, be honest. You put up a photograph of yourself as a profile pic, and it looks exactly the same as the green circle with the little white guy.
What you look like in real
That's
life?
what you look like in real life. Nobody's going to try to lie anymore about it. You look just like that.
I mean...
you said you don't think you're attractive. I think it's very attractive, Jeeves. The green background, the white circle, and the white oblong circle. Jeeves. Did you Photoshop this? Because it looks green to me. Hey, look, it's Countess. Angantyr often deletes stuff. You know, Angantyr, that sounds kind of like an SE Polar thing to do. If you put the time into writing it, why would you delete it?
Hey, Countess.
Always forget to log into Mud Proper. Everyone here is very attractive, or so it seems to an oldest lady who enjoys pretty people. We are very all attractive, and we all are slightly less attractive than Capio. What's her new name again? Capio. What did Mom call her?
Capio.
I forget.
It's gone.
Pee-Pee, my kitty cat. Okay.
Yeah.
She is a kitty pageant winner.
She is.
Of epic proportions.
I even find myself saying it.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
She's got a lovely coffee with milk colored stomach. She's got stripes. She's got a bold but very feminine face.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like very present, very feminine, but not afraid to say, I'm here, I'm strutting down the runway, look at me, love me.
Yeah.
Well, she comes around sometimes. She does. She comes around quite a bit, and she's starting to. Well, I came in the other day, and Rachel and Pee were scissoring, so I think they're getting a little closer. I didn't know cats did that, but I guess female cats do it too. It's all part of the mysteries of women, Look at those sad kitties. Why are your kitties sad, Octavio? Do they miss Pee? They all struck out with Pee. That is not the intended emoji. Stop looking at it now. Those emojis are unintentional. Listen, a donut, Jeebus, I'm beginning to think you might be using that as a stand-in for the word vagina.
Isn't that? Yeah, it is.
Triple air. And more masculine energy in my chart than feminine and rational, of course.
Cool.
Triple air.
Triple air. I don't have much air in my chart.
Even when I get triple air, and even though I'm 6'4", I still can't dunk a basketball. Because even with triple air, I can only jump this high. It's one of my handicaps in life.
I can't play pool for my life. That's my handicap. I swear. 3 people who tried to teach me, all of them are like, please stop playing.
Okay, you're defaming the game now.
Yeah. They're like, this is going so slow. You're hitting the wrong balls.
Rachel, your presence in this room is making me hate my beloved game of pool.
Uh-huh.
You and billiards are not meant for one another.
It's so true. They're not.
Well, I liked to play basketball, but I was yes. Yes, it will. Yes, it will, Fasology. It will shine like the goddamn sun that come down from the heavens and landed directly in your eye. It shines like the gleam of lights off of chrome, off of mirrors, into reflecting panels.
Mm.
That's gleamy.
That's right.
It's shiny and gleamy. I'll tell you who else their SE really comes out during sex is Parker Tart Lemon Squeeze. Parker Tart Lemon Squeeze, of course, familiar. He's a guy. He's got half a lemon for a head. It's cut this way, not this way, obviously.
He's got a moon face.
He's got a moon face. And he's a big believer that everything you want in life can be achieved with tartness or sourness. If either of those don't work, he likes to recommend trying something tart or something sour. His friend,
lemon.
Yeah, he's Parker Tart Lemon Squeeze. I don't know if all lemon people are into tartness and sourness, but he is.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's just like one of those, one of those Mexicans who's really into being part of La Raza. And so it's like always eating beans and tortillas and stuff. Bathory were an extreme metal group formed in Vällingby, Sweden. Quarthon was his name. I am Quarthon. Well, you have to hold it because I need 2 hands now for this. No. Did he die? Quarthon? Did he die? I tell you something. You guys are missing out. Because when I'm writing this,
Oh God.
the cleavage is just busting out. You guys are missing out because the camera's not that low. Because it's on top of the paper towels. So too bad for you. On the cleavage. You will one day, if you want Angantyr, you can come visit me when I get this house up and running as an MBTI hangout that people can fly into it and visit. Okay, Winston's mom. Rachel and I'll come visit you. We'll probably drive though. If you're not too far away. What state are you in?
Yeah.
A state of extreme terror? A state of mild confusion? Are you in a state of Piao, Piao, and Piao? Let's see. Are you in a state of Piao? And are you in a state of Piao? Is that mate in the British sense of friend? And are you in a state of Winston's mom? Finally, the last one, of course, Piao. I'm talking about with a capital P. Let's find out. You get him, yeah. What's this one? Earth Mama. You're being Earth Mama right now. How very descriptive of the card. You're like, and everyone come to my house, and I'll feed them all tortillas. Ooh. And once you do, you know what you're going to be? And then I, Winston's mom, will be the star, a radiant inspiration to Diva. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's a fitting card for you.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And then finally, Winston's mom. Uh-oh. I'm thinking maybe your husband doesn't like your TWFP MBTI fort idea.
Or maybe even the ferrets are like, ah.
It could be ferret problems,
so
right?
many people.
Well, it could be maybe two of her ferrets broke up with each other. Did your ferrets break up, maybe?
Oh.
Did maybe you break up with one of your ferrets?
I'm going to go to the bathroom and I'll...
Check on mom?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Jeebus, your non-stop heckling of me is going to make me cry at any moment now. And when that happens, you know what's going to happen to you? You're going to feel real bad about yourself. You're going to be like, oh shit, I made Eric cry. I guess I taunted him too many times. Take a load off, Rachel. Take a load off. Oh, I think I'd rather put a load on Rachel. Let's see. So I'm going to the raw room and wake up Zaylen Black. We need some fairy lights. Okay. So, according to astrology, Cartography Canada would be a lucky place for me to live. I responded to your last video with, would you consider making a video of philosopher types like Nietzsche, Socrates, Confucius, Plato, Kant, Marx, Witt, Jens, TN, and Schopenhauer. Yeah, I can do those people. That's fine. You know what I'm doing right now is I'm making a table, a very exciting table. Apparently he's kind of dying. I mean, I'm not sure. Susie stepped down as admin. Some people were having problems with Angry Jane as the new admin. If you don't know who Angry Jane is, you've not been around that long, I guess. I don't know. She's angry. There were many people, including Deaths of Pandas. Well, look, we all want the pandas to die. That's one thing that there's not going to be any dispute about. The only good panda bear is a dead panda bear. These are the truths by which we live. I was so happy that Becky visited. Of course, she had to come in and try to play games with her passive aggressive question asking and shit. But you know, I don't care. I like Becky. I've always liked Becky. You know, she needs to fucking set her pride aside for a second and just fucking. She needs to stop trying to be dominant. You know, she needs to stop trying to be dominant with me because she's barking up the wrong fucking tree. You know, it's like ain't not never no how no ways no ain't gonna happen. Fuck no. I don't try to be dominant with you. You don't need to try to be dominant with me. It's like, I don't mind your willful ways, but I just can't take your runaways. Maybe it would be good for me to drop in there. My extroversion is very low right now, though. Well, listen, Brian. I want you to extrovert the shit out of your most extroverted extroversion at me right now for practice. Then when you get there, you'll be all warmed up. Go, extrovert. Blah! Like that. Yeah, extroversion is a real finger in the bum. I guess most of the distinctions I never thought to make, but are nevertheless really important. For instance, differentiating different kinds of warrants for claims. Yeah, that's kind of important. Also, I would say distinguishing whether you are affirming or negating something is the number one thing, right? Most people don't get past step one. Who's affirming, who's negating, and what are you affirming, and what am I negating? Those are kind of super, ultra, mega, ultimate, penultimate matters of significance. Eric, I'm talking with my fingers. Me, 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 me. Look at me, I'm talking with my fingers. I'm not moving my mouth at all. I'm only talking with my fingers. I'm a ventriloquist hall. Okay. Can you play the guitar with the left hand? I can play the left-handed part of the guitar with my left hand. I can't turn it around, if that's what you're meaning. I've only played it normal style, or I guess it's normal style. You know, like my left hand does the pushing down of the strings part, and my right hand does the strumming and the picking part. You know, when I was a kid, online games helped me access my FE. I think I wouldn't be surprised if that is in fact the case, because after all, it gives you an opportunity to interface with people in a wholly metaphysical environment where it's just language and symbols and no physicality. I mean, the thing is, it's all about establishing what you're doing at the outset of it. Remember, you made this claim, and that's what I'm negating, okay? So don't try to shift ground now. In case you meet someone in there who dominates the room with a soliloquy, use the chat box to talk to other people. Or you could be like, hey, shut up, stupid extrovert. We introverts are trying to have some quiet time. To make sure between reading various things, watching extra debate, police stuff, watching actual debates, trying to deliberate, and thinking about debates, both ones in general. Yeah, I've shown how to play. I do have a couple of videos where it's like how to play. Yeah, one of my songs. When I do make those videos, I'm very happy later on because, without exception, I have to go back and figure out how to play the song again because I don't remember it. So I got a video for how to play It's the Second Night that I've referenced periodically. I've got I don't know. I got distracted. Oh, right. I got how to play What's the Big Problem? That's another one I have up there. I'm distracted though by Countess's interesting thing here. I dated a guy who was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. He looked normal to me. I don't know what the big deal is. Maybe he's taking meds for it or something. We only dated for 2 months though. I mean, a lot of people get diagnosed with a lot of shit. Real, like, bipolar shit means you're seeing dramatic and frequent shifts between mania and depression. And you have to have both sides of it. Like, there was stretches of my life where, and some days still even, when it's like I feel pretty goddamn manic. But I never really have the depressive side of it. And even when I am feeling manic now, it doesn't manifest a whole lot in the regular world. It's just sort of like me feeling like, fuck yeah, yeah. Just kind of like supercharged. Bipolar 1 and 2 are different? Okay. Well, I mean, they love to pathologize shit that's ought not be pathologized too. So just because you have varying degrees of moods, and you get excited and you get calmer sometimes and more excited other times, doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. I want to play a good RTS, real-time shooter. Or resource trade strategy. Would you be afraid to go to sleep if there was a fruit fly flying around? No. We do have a couple of fruit flies around here. They annoy the shit out of me. Real-time strategy. Would you be afraid to go to sleep if there's fruit flies around? I guess it's about time to put Mom to bed.
Yeah.
Okay. What key or chords were those? It was F sharp, like this. Okay, time for Molly Bones to go to Slumber Town.
Yeah.
So, in the stream? Yes, or do you want to stay here?
I was gonna help you.
All right, yeah, let's end the stream. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese and love in your heart and love yourself and hug yourself with tender touchings and love and wonderful times.